is demonstrating the Android practical using the intent. So basically this program is for the intent. Let's first discuss what is the meaning of intent in Android Studio. See, in Android Studio, an intent is a messaging objects, and we can also used by Android applications for sending the request and performing the actions from the another components. So in this practical, we use two components, or we can say it as two widgets. The first one is a edit text. We also called as a edit text as a plain text, and the next one is a button. So let's start the practical. Plain text is your edit text. So simply we drag and drop on a design panel. Then we drag the button. So simply we click on button and drag the button. Our next step is setting the gravity constraint one by one. So we just set the constraint firstly on button. So I provide the top as a 50, also bottom as a 50, and from left and right also 50. So exactly our widget, our component place on center of your design panel. I change the name of button. If you want to change the attributes, then the most of attributes are available here. So you can choose according to your design. This step is essential for fixing our constraint on emulator. When we run our program, that time you do not set the constraint, then your output will be shuffled all over your screen. So it is a compulsory to set the gravity constraint using the attribute. Now we set the all constraint using constraint widget through the attribute. In the edit text, the default ID will be provided here, edit text. If you want to change it, then simply go to the design section and click on your widget and see here we mentioned the new ID. So we set as a default, and if in edit text we take the input from user, so that's why we use that input type of field and will provide the value in a text format. So say default height and width provided with the help of wrap content. If you want to change it, then change according to your design pattern, and simply we connect the button to our edit text for fetching the proper record. So that's why we add the button's ID. See, we set the default ID, we cannot change the ID of our new widgets or components. So as usual, we refer the default ID. So simply we connect here. Here we change through the attribute, and in coding section the value is also changed. So whenever we reflect any changes on design panel, that all changes reflected in our coding section in .xml file. So next task is control S is for the saving your program, and our next task is code the backend code. Now we are used the two widgets, so that's why it is essential to import the namespaces regarding to our components. So we declare in this section. Here we imported the related namespaces. Now we start our actual coding from the main activity. So here we use the two components. So it is essential to connect their ID with actual widgets. So simply we use the final keyword. So in these two lines, we use the two components. The first one is a button. The second one is a widget with their object, and connect the IDs. Just we set it in XML file. Their ID connect with the actual widgets. So in this line or in this statement, we connect the IDs to our actual widgets. Then move to the next step. All our functionality runs through the button, so that's why we refer the button. So basically button's object is btn dot is the accessing operator. Now we use the set on click listener. Set on click listener with view parameters. The set on click listener function will provide the one method which is called as on click, because we perform the button click event, so that's why we use the on click. Hence we open the on click function, or we can also say it as a method. Now we declare the one variable. Str is a variable here with holding the data type string. Now we fetch the record from edit text, and since in this program edit text object is a txt, so we refer the txt, and with the help of get text method we access the content which import or which used in the edit text, which will be typed in edit text. So simply toString function is necessary to converting the content into the string formats. So every statement is end with the semicolon. Then we move to the second statement. And basically this program is intent. So as usual, I already said, so intent is a messaging object. So here we created their object. Here we refer the object of intent, that is the small intent. So we refer with the help of dot, we access that content and set the data. So that's why we use that set data method. Inside that we pass the URI. Whenever we run this practical, we set or we pass this URL part and we will navigate on their actual site. So simply we use the URI and this overall execution stored in str variable. So that's why we use the str as a parameter here, and the statement end with the semicolon. Simply our data types initial is a capital, so that's why it returns the red line here. And the last statement is start activity through the intent, and basically our intent object is a small intent. Now we check the proper closing of our program. See, our all errors will be solved here. So check our proper opening and closings. Now we are moved to the run section. So simply click on the run button for running this program. Next step is go to the Google Chrome. Simply we copy that link where we want to navigate. So simply I copy. See, here we pass the link which we copied on Google Chrome. So basically this is the edit text. So we paste the link here and click on the button. See the output. We mention this website link on our edit text and we will navigate it through the intent. So basically, so intent as usual, our messaging object will be communicate through the intent to our actual program to the browser's content. So this is overall about the demonstrating the intent and their programs. Thank you.